Hey everyone, how's it going? Oh man, I'm gonna just sit here, eat some of my ice cream, and talk to you guys. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? So, what are we getting into tonight? Oh, that's good. Yeah, well, that's good. What were we getting into last night? What were we getting into last night? Well, like, why would you want to, like, immediately bring that up? Just immediately. Yeah, how about we're just not gonna bring any detractions or ridiculousness from anything else into this stream. So that's where it stops. So what's up? What's up, everyone? What are we getting into? There was a second assassination attempt. A second one. What's wrong with people? Really, what? Like, you guys know how much I can't stand him. But at the same time, I can still say, what the heck is wrong with people? Like, so messed up. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. I guess, like, was it at like 1:30 in the afternoon or something like that? It's pretty crazy. I guess the guy had like a little GoPro, right? Didn't he have a little GoPro on him? Pretty nuts. Like, what was he gonna do with that? Right? One GoPro. Was he streaming? I don't even know. They're not giving us a lot of details, it seems. Which is understandable. But it's still pretty nuts. And didn't he like flee for a while? Didn't he like get like to the next county over? It's pretty crazy. I don't think it was very far, but like, yeah. But yeah, apparently the Secret Service response was good, and commendable, I guess, is what I'm hearing. So that's a good thing, right? Like, there's only so much they can do about attempts, right? You guys have to understand, what I think some people don't get is, you can't blame the Secret Service for attempts. Like, if people are crazy enough to try this, they're gonna try it. Like, it's as simple as that. If they're that insane, they're just gonna be that insane. And so, you know, there's only so much they can do about people that just decide to be that crazy. But, you know, like, obviously the response, you know, how you deal with it. And I think, you know, from what I'm hearing, it was handled pretty well. So, if you're wondering, rainbow sherbet. Yeah. In case you're wondering. It's good stuff. It's not really rainbow. It's, I think it's orange, lemon, and lime. I think. Something like that. It's not really rainbow, but close enough. I think that's what you call it. Yeah. It's good. I would probably call it citrus, but because like I feel like the rainbow, like I don't know, I feel like it should have like some more flavors in it. Yeah, you know, at least 2 more. I mean, at least 5, right? That's what I would say, at least. I think everybody's asleep. Is everybody asleep? Let's see, what everybody's up to. Let's see what everybody's up to. Let me get that off the screen. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Alright, hold on. We got this up. We got it up. We got it up. Okay. We got it up. There it is. Alright. Oh, what's up, 3 people hanging out? What's up? I'm gonna just sit here. I'm eating ice cream here. So can we like all agree that like this is really crazy? Like literally a second one. This soon after the first one. This is nuts, man. You know, always condemn things like that. No matter who you align with, no matter what side you're on, always remember that you condemn things like that. Always. It's just terrible. So yeah, I guess he ran to the next county, right? And he had like it was an AK-47 with a scope on it. Yep. It was an AK-47 with a scope on it. Interesting, right? Oh man. So it shows that he had the equipment. Like he had like I guess a flak jacket on this fence where he was like laying down, right? So for coverage, I guess. I don't know. Here's my thing. Like, did he have any other guns with him? Like, I don't know. He's supposedly experienced and stuff like that and has this equipment. Yet he's using an AK-47 at a range. That doesn't make any sense to me. So like I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know where they're getting their information from. You know, like they're talking about him like he's experienced and stuff like that, but I just that doesn't make any sense. That tells me that he just had some stuff laying around. Nobody that has experience would use a mid-range rifle, a mid to close range rifle with a scope on it. An AK-47 is really not that accurate to begin with, but so I don't know. Eli, today is your birthday, Eli. How old are you, Eli? Interesting. Well, thanks for letting us know. Anyway, so here's like some things I don't know. What I don't know is I don't know if like did any bullets penetrate the glass of the vehicle? Did I'm actually kind of wondering exactly the shots he even got. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't even seem like it got close, to be honest with you. Like I'm just trying to figure out the info, that's all. And like some of it's like very vague. It's always good to learn about current events and remember how stuff happened, because there may be a time where freedoms are at stake and the only thing that you have to remember, you know, because of controlled media, this and that, is your own memory of the way things happened when you were there, you know. And, you know, truth be told, it you know, it really could happen where we lose freedom of the press. It's not something you want. It's not. You know, if these guys could pay off everybody to just never report things on them, oh yeah, they would. So anyway, I gotta be honest. Like, Trump, like, I don't know, he already was looking, you know, I mean, he's getting older, you know, and like he was already looking like he was stressed and stuff like that. Yeah, after the first one, for sure. I noticed it. I don't know if anybody else did, but I certainly did. So like, you know, even though like I don't, even though I don't like like the guy and I don't want him to win or anything like that, I don't want him to be stressed. I just like, I really don't wish these things. I don't hate really anybody, you know. I really don't wish ill upon people and stuff like that. I may talk like I do at times, but you know, it's the sort of thing where, like, you know, people act like jerks. It's that simple. Yeah, you have to put them in their place. That's all there is to it sometimes. Anyway. Yeah, don't let people step on you. Don't do it. You know, for trying to get too personal, yada yada yada. Yeah, I mean, like, that's... I gotta be honest with you, like... I don't know if you guys knew this or not. Apparently... okay, apparently... Hear me out. Apparently... if you don't want unsolicited questions about your feelings, apparently this means that you have a problem. Yeah. 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 Yep. If you're just a private person, and again, you don't want unsolicited questions about how you're feeling, you know, you have a problem. This is, like, so very obviously, like, a behavior that is indicative of somebody like essentially trying to do this. You know what I mean? Like, they say this thing so that way it's like implanted. And they've probably done this before and stuff like that, but essentially you just say some untruths that, like, you think are, or this person thinks are, like, you know, gonna rile them up or whatever, you know. It's the sort of, you know, thing they just think. And then, you know, they just say this one thing, and they might keep pressing it, you know, and they might keep saying it or whatever. But the point is, they want to get to you, and they want to feel like they've got to you. So they'll just keep pressing it. They might say it again, yada, yada, yada. And so, like, if at some point, for some reason, you even give them the slightest hint that they could have, even though they haven't, they'll literally just double down on this thing and show exactly how terrible they are. And it's so easy to expose that. So to the people that get it, to the people that know essentially what that was for, and could immediately see this person in this light, you're smart. You get it. This is the point. They will show themselves. They will take advantage. That's it. They won't leave well enough alone, mind their own business. They'll just keep trying to do that thing that they thought, you know, bothered you and stuff like that. So the point is to expose that and show as many people as possible that this type of person exists. And they'll keep doing it. And there's no other word for them except terrorist. They are spreading terror. That's it. Or trying to, anyway. Trying to. You know, it's not always going to work on everybody. Truthfully. Yeah. You guys, I grew up, I know I said this like 1,000 times. I grew up with South Park. I grew up making fun of myself, watching comedians that do the same thing. I grew up with an understanding of how to laugh at your flaws and stuff like that. I do not care what people say about me or say to me. I don't personally feel affected by it. I'm literally in my late 30s. I know that half of you come on here and you probably think I'm in my 20s. Nope. I have been through plenty of things, plenty of jobs. I've owned a business. You're not gonna hurt my precious little feelings, yada yada yada. Okay, This is like sort of the point. This is why I even say it like that. Like, I make fun of myself. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. They're just words. I don't look at it like that. I'm fighting the fight for the people that want to be on the platform and not have to worry about this. Yeah, and I realize I'm going about it ass backwards. I understand that. But if I don't, who is? Who's going to do that? Because essentially, nobody's taking enough of a firm hand with it. Nobody. Period. Bullying, cyberbullying specifically, has gotten out of hand. You know, most people growing up in today's world, the reason why they feel the way they do and the reason why they even do anything at all, literally, period, anything, is for social status. We know this. So then why do we act like social media is something that we shouldn't control and shouldn't age restrict? I truly, truly, truly believe the United States should take a gigantic leap forward for mankind and put an age restriction of 18 years old on all social media platforms. Just like buying cigarettes, you'll have some verification process. And if you're caught on the platform but less than 18 years old, there's something that's going to happen. For your protection, for your growth and development. Because you can't do it constantly worrying and full of anxiety about your social status for the world to see. This is everybody. Everybody. Literally. And again, they're growing up into it. Expecting it. That's terrible. I didn't have to think about that or be worried about that. Yeah. No, I really didn't. When I went to school, we didn't have Facebook. We barely had MySpace. Barely. Nobody used it. If somebody wanted to talk crap, they had to call you. Most people forgot the next day. They couldn't just post crap. And mess with your social status and affect things this way. Nobody feared anything. The next day, people got over shit. It didn't linger and carry on. And seriously affect people's anxiety and worry about what's going to happen next. This is everybody now. And again, this affects your development, your ability to develop, because you're just going to literally have anxiety. Everybody. There is absolutely not a single teenager that isn't emotional. And if there is, please show them to me, because I want to point them in the direction of the nearest and best college on the planet. Okay? I'm just being honest. This is truth. It's not even just them. That's the point. It's adults too. And like that's the point. The next generation's just coming into it, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And this affects development of the brain. Absolutely. You have to understand that. So yeah, anyway. Anyway. Not to get all negative and stuff. I'm just saying, like, I believe that that's important. I know how crazy it sounds, and it wouldn't be popular. Nobody would like it. Except, no, probably parents would. Because the point is, it's for protection. It should be age restricted. I realize the numbers. I realize the stocks. I realize the people at the top are probably laughing even just hearing this. Yeah, no doubt. Because the point is, they lose a shitload of money doing that with anything. So that's the point. That's why it'll never happen. But it should. Just admit it to yourself. That's all. Maybe one day we can figure out a way. I don't want anybody to lose their shares and lose a bunch of money either. I'm just saying, like, that would definitely do it, you know? Saying hi to Nightbot. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, again, I don't want anybody to lose a bunch of money. Like, that makes sense to me too. Like, I understand that. Like, as you know, business and stuff, you don't want to take a giant hit like that, doing stuff like that. I get it. So the question is, how do you do it? That is definitely the way. So how do you do it without taking that hit? You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Or at least close. You know, if you lose a little bit, is it worth it? I think it would be, because think about how much it costs you too sometimes when these things happen and stuff like that. So, like, you could weigh that out. You could honestly have meetings and talk about that and weigh out, you know, well, yeah, it's a good point. Eventually, this does cost us money when, you know, something bad happens because somebody's data got leaked and stuff like that. And how often does that happen now? A lot. Just saying. I'm reasonable. The only reason it seems like it's not is because a lot of this stuff's been going on for years. A lot of people they're just sort of kind of tuning into it. Age-old question. Here's something people don't realize. I have an interesting ability, and I challenge almost anybody else to obtain this ability and be able to do this, because I think it's useful, extremely valuable to anybody in life. So here it is. You guys should know this by now. But the ability is essentially to be able to look at a situation unbiased, because essentially what you can do is put yourself in somebody else's shoes for X amount of time. So essentially you can figure out exactly the truth of the situation and figure out what's going on. So, and not only that, just relate to the person and stuff like that. So instead of thinking about it like, oh yeah, I can do that and stuff like that, what I want you to remember is that at any time, a lot of folks don't realize they can just close their eyes and actually almost kind of dream it, you know, like a daydream or something like that. You don't realize that, like, we're not saying think about it. We're literally saying actually consider this person's mannerisms, how they stand, how they hold themselves, how they even talk, the way they sound, what they do. If they leave this event, what's he gonna do after this? Is he gonna play golf? Or is he going to work on like helping things and trying to build infrastructure and work on a plan so that way at the next rally he can actually give you valid talking points of things that he would actually do? You know, things like that. And literally, like, just again, put yourself in their shoes. Actually feel that. Again, sound of the voice, how he holds himself, you know, anybody really, but just a person. And now when you're in their shoes, now just kind of walk around for a while. You know, what are they doing next, like I said. And it's sort of like a meditation process. And you really can get to a point where you start realizing you can look at the world differently through somebody else, because you have now put yourself in their shoes. You know a little bit about them, so you can kind of reflect versus your position, versus the things in your life, comparatively to what you just did in their shoes. And now you can sort of say, oh, I get it. Okay, so since this person's like this is why it seems that way. This is why it comes off this way, yada yada yada. A lot of times people are very physical with things, you know, like essentially candidates especially, for some reason, you know, like politicians and stuff like that. It's really interesting sometimes which ones people think are charismatic. It actually is. Yeah, I'm just being honest. I really think it's actually fairly interesting sometimes, because there are people that, like, I see them for who they are, and there really isn't a whole lot of charisma there. And then, like, other people will just see just a ton. And I'm just like, I don't get what you see. Like, I don't see, like, a ton of charisma. I mean, I see that, like, this person could apply themselves better and maybe have that, but it's not there now, you know? Like, I get that. I get seeing, being optimistic, but that's a little different than seeing it for what it is. It's not even a little, it is different. So anyway, you know, the point is, if you do that, if you learn that ability and you actually do it, instead of just kind of saying, oh yeah, I can do that, you know, like, this is what people do, unfortunately. Like, I don't mean that in a rude way, I'm just saying we do it. You know, I've definitely done this before. It's the sort of thing where, before I understood it, that's what I used to do too. You know, that's the point. That's why I understand this now. Because it's like, you know, you get to a certain point, you're like, oh, wow, I really kind of was doing that, you know, like way back, you know, and stuff like that, before I understood exactly, you know, how to do that and stuff like that. You just figure things out, you know, in life and stuff like that. You know, you got to get to a certain point. Obviously, we're talking more back, for me, it was more back, like, when I was originally learning meditation and stuff like that in my original martial arts classes and stuff when I was just a student. But you know, obviously going into being an instructor and everything, I'm gonna know how to meditate and stuff like that at that point. So definitely knew that by then. So we're not talking about anything recently discovered or anything like that, but it's something that I'll, you know, continue to carry with me, and definitely helps you with relating to, you know, just understanding somebody's position and where they stand and stuff like that, and why they are the way they are, you know. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate it. I don't know what you guys want to get into tonight. I just sort of started talking. Just sort of kind of sat down and started talking. I don't work tomorrow, so I don't have, like, a time constraint. I'm a little tired. I'm a little bit tired, but like I don't have a time constraint. Cause like I said, I don't work tomorrow, so yeah, no time constraint. So anyway, what should we get into? Like I said, I'm a little tired. I don't know what I'm gonna necessarily get into. You know, it's kind of here's what sucks. Here's what sucks. You'll say the simplest thing about yourself. Like truthfully, here's what sucks. I gotta be honest, guys, and this isn't just true for me. This is true for anybody that does this. This is true for the big streamers. This is true for me. This is true for anybody that does this. If you get on here and you say anything about yourself, like anything that you like, anything personal, like literally at all, anything that you like, even games anymore, there are going to be many people, not even just one, many people that disagree and feel that they need to force you to agree with their opinion on this. This is like many, and it's everybody. It's just with different things. Now, again, this is what content creators make content because they feel they have, you know, some sort of valid artistic ability to, you know, present this to you in a way that you will find it entertaining. That's it. And so when everybody gets too hung up on thinking that everybody wants to hear their opinion on everything, and they think they're right on everything, it's just chaos. It's just bad. And more people need to realize that, you know, like, you got to do something with that. You know, just like I did, I spent years and years and years getting caught up on politics and like history and stuff like that. Like I really did spend years doing a fair amount of looking things up and researching and things like that, and just making sure that I have a decent amount of knowledge before I start really talking about this stuff. And yeah, I'll admit that, like, way back, when I was younger, I used to jump to conclusions just like everybody else and say things that were wrong, and I'd get corrected. And that's exactly why at a certain point I literally decided to stop doing that. Because I just got tired of it. I just literally got so sick of being wrong that I just decided it wasn't going to happen anymore. So I started looking everything up that I could. And for the life of me, I don't know why anybody else doesn't do the same. I mean, I shouldn't say anybody, because let's be fair, some people do. But it is that some. Definitively, it is some. It's not even like a good amount. It's some. Because, I'll be honest, there's a lot of people that back Kamala that could do a better job. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be mean. I appreciate the support, but like, there's times where I've definitely noticed people could do a better job. And they're just really rammy about it, and they don't have to be. It's very simple. Yeah. There's some very, very strong points to argue for her. So, um, you know, just look it up and make sure that you're right, and you know, don't say too much, because then it gets convoluted. There's been times where somebody was talking to me about something with politics, and flat out, I fully admitted, I said, "Oh, I'll be honest with you, I actually don't know much about what you're talking about right now. So I'll tell you what, I would rather actually look this up and kind of look through, because now you got me thinking that maybe I should, you know." And I'm just being respectful, because they might know more than me. They might know about this, because clearly they did mention something that I didn't know, and I have to take that to heart and go and look it up. So I do. I gotta be honest. This is why people ended up, you know, the way they did, I think, with the some people that do this. Because some people just care about the answer, the right answer. Knowledgeable people. And they'll look it up. And then they'll come back to the person and they'll be like, so yeah, you know that thing that you were talking to me about? Yeah, that's not right. Sorry. It's not at all correct. And like, you try to tell them in like a nice way too. Not necessarily like that. I'm not saying anything specific here, I realize that, but you know, like, that's the point, is it's just, it's not been just one time, it was a bunch of times. Yeah. So there's it's gonna happen. There's just so much misinformation out there. So like, you know, you gotta know definitely what you're looking at, but anybody that says to you, you need to watch a video, and that's it. Nobody talking about it, nobody reporting on it, just a video. They are not somebody that knows how to differentiate misinformation from information. I'm just stating. You really don't know how to do it. Because you can't determine that there's that exactly what's wrong with what you just said. You don't want to watch an out of context video, because that's why. Quite frankly, it's out of context. If you watch it, where's the context? How do you know what happened? How do you know where it happened? You don't. You're just basing it on what you see, and a lot of times you can be misled by that. That's the point. I can sit here and just come up with crap all day long and make lies up all day long. This is exactly what people do to mislead you. It's called propaganda. It's exactly how it works. I'll cut this little section out, put it in an ad, and be like, see? That's what the Democrats do. Meanwhile, you find out, if you watch the whole thing and then you have, you know, dialogue for it and somebody's reporting on it, you find out, oh, well, actually, they were there to vote against this, and this was a Republican thing, yada, 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 and they just didn't show you the whole thing. Oh. Now it makes sense. Kind of like when they, like, you know, when they, like, show you an out-of-context picture, like a politician, like, looking, like, really, like bad or something like that? And then, like, you're, like, wondering, like, you're just, like, looking at it, like, wow, that's a pretty bad picture. Or they, like, look really sad. Like, do you know, like, there's, like, pictures of Kamala where she's, like, looking, like, really sad and stuff like that? You know what I'm talking about, like, right? Do you know that a lot of times they're clipping her from, like, a funeral? Yeah, this is terrible. This is the point. She's at a funeral. Of course she's gonna be grieving. And they're trying to use this to smear her. This is how these guys are. That's the point. This is how terrible they are. Like they would actually do that. She's grieving about somebody that died. And they would actually use that to smear her in a campaign. Like nothing to do with anything political. She's just at a funeral, and that's the picture they use. That's, yeah, class, right? This is the point. It's not. It's cutthroat. It always has been, and sadly might always will be. So, you have to be able to do the, you know, looking like from in their shoes. Seriously, you got to be able to do that. You really, really, really do. Kamala Harris cares about this country and cares about being a president, cares about helping. Because if she didn't, why did she decide to be the Attorney General of California for X amount of time and continue in politics after this and didn't just leave and do something else? It's literally that simple. She is smart, educated, extremely qualified to do, well, almost anything having to do, you know, with government and stuff like that. She could have been successful with a lot of different things. And she stayed a representative to do good things. She could have just walked away from this, yada yada yada, but no. And again, like, it can make or break it, you know? And she took the leap. She didn't suddenly do this out of nowhere after being a billionaire for many, many, many years, their whole life, and going bankrupt 6 times. Literally. Come on. That's the point. She could have stopped at any point and sat happily. The other guy was never a politician. He was always playing armchair politics, angrily tweeting things. Like, come on. And then all of a sudden, after going bankrupt 6 times, about to be a 7th, he wants to run for president. All of a sudden. Okay? That's how you look at that. It's that simple. This is why a lot of people don't get why people can't look at it like that, because there's other people that think this way too. You should be able to do this. Most people should be able to do this. It's not that hard to do. It's really not. Yeah, they can just put 2 and 2 together. and it's okay, like, I get it. You know, like, I get it. You all see the world from wherever you sit from. You know, some like, that's the point. Some of you are very, very conservative. You really don't get out much. You stay in your tight-knit communities. You don't pay attention to the media that much, except when Trump comes on and Fox comes on. Yada, yada, yada. Truthfully, you're brainwashed. I'm not trying to be mean. And the Bible even warned you about this. It did. You know, it literally warned you that Satan's going to come in a way that it's charismatic. You're going to like him. Everybody's going to start forming groups and rise up to try to get you to like him too. Like all kinds of stuff that said would happen is exactly what we're seeing in this guy. Like, there's so many things, not to mention the fact that, like, all the relatings to Hitler and stuff over the years, you guys have to realize that that's what he wants to do. Anytime he said he thought Hitler had a good idea, and remember this, that he won in a very similar way that Hitler did, like pretending to be a nice guy and stuff like that, and getting into the election, like winning the election. And then he's just not. He just acts nuts. You know, he tweets all the time and he's nasty. He doesn't condemn things like he should. You know, like what on earth? And didn't he, like, not condemn a school shooting or something like that? Okay. Like how many times did Trump, did we have to, like, press him to condemn something or press him to say this is bad or something like that? Like, how many times did that happen? And it's, like, sort of kind of obvious where his heart's at a little bit. It shouldn't be that hard. It really is. You just say the words. Kind of like I did earlier. Kind of like every single time there's a ridiculous assassination attempt on this man's life, I condemn it. So the same man that can't condemn shootings on other people, I'm condemning shootings upon him. I'm saying that's wrong. Immediately. I can do it. And your president can't. The one you want to vote for. This is how easy it is to discern that he's not somebody that you want. I mean, truthfully. And like, I don't want to be president, but I will say to you that I promise you I could do the job better. I promise. Because I would actually care. I really would. And I know flat out that he doesn't. So, like, that's the point. Like, I don't want that job, but if for some reason I did get it, something like that, I promise you, I would take it seriously and I would care. Because I do. Because it matters. You have the nuclear codes. Matters. You don't overturn Roe versus Wade with trying to mince words and brainwash people into thinking that they're ripping some babies out. It's just not the case. It's just that's to fool you. It's literally to fool you. It's not what happens. The point is that those precautions were put into place to only happen if we're talking about the life of the mother or the child, to make that choice. Instead of carrying it to term, possibly killing both, infection, maybe whoever delivers it doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, come on. Do what the doctors say, not what Trump says. You want your doctor to have that. And meanwhile, the Democrats are actually saying this to you, showing you they care. They're not saying the government should have... They're actually saying the opposite. They're saying the government shouldn't have a say in this. That tells you the Democrats care about your ability to choose what's right for you, to choose your rights. Trump is saying the opposite. That's how you do that thing again, where you look at it not like this, but everything, where you look at it from their perspective. They really are trying to show you this. That's why they keep saying it. Nobody seems to get it. Anybody that says that, they clearly care. And everybody wanted Roe, like, nobody should have overturned Roe versus Wade. And again, the people that actually believe the whole ripping the baby thing out, that's ridiculous propaganda that he uses to fool you. Again, the precautions were in place, the measures were in place, so that the only time these things happen is when it's going to affect the life of one or the other, and you have to make that difficult choice. And again, that's up to you and your doctor to talk about the individuals that go through that, because you don't... There could be so many hundreds of reasons why there's a complication during a birth. Maybe it's pray to God that it's not, but maybe it's stillborn. Maybe this terrible thing has happened, and now this woman doesn't have the right to do that, and she's got to carry, to term, something that's dead. Come on. Be real with yourselves. That's not right. Would Jesus want that? If we had the technology and Jesus was here right now, and a woman had to carry a baby to term that was dead, do you think Jesus would say, yes, you must carry a dead baby, even if it means risking your life? No, he would have common sense. He would do the thing where the baby's already dead, you save the mother. Why does he keep looking up scared? He? I'm looking up because it's how I look at chat. Man, chat's up there. What, do you want me to look at you? I'm not scared. Yeah, I'm a martial artist of over 20 years. Yeah. Actually going on 30. Yeah. So I'm not scared. I'm literally just looking up at chat. Uh-huh. Anyway. This is the point. They care. And if you could put yourself in their shoes when they're saying that, you'd realize you really don't have any reason other reason for saying that. The point is, they are saying this. They are saying that the government shouldn't have a say in that. That's big. That's big. I mean, I guess I could look at chat. I could move chat down here and look at it. But then it'll just look like looking like I'm looking down the whole time. So, it's one or the other. Big Al. It's one or the other. Big Al. Hey. Nobody knows what that's from anymore. So what are we getting into tonight? Everybody's in here for the politics. No, but that's a reasonable stance, guys. It's a reasonable stance. It is. Just any reasonable person would agree, I think. Even somebody that doesn't necessarily have to have the same political views as me, I think would agree. You know, that's a reasonable stance for sure. And then, you know, we can still meet halfway and have like solid debate. The point of debate isn't to argue about personal things and how old somebody is versus somebody else. The point is to talk about what they would do to help the country moving forward, you know, versus the problems that we are dealing with from previous administrations where they still haven't fixed these issues. So the point is, what can you do better? You know, like, what do you have to add? And remember, he doesn't have anything to add. And anytime he does, it's always something he can't do. He's trying to convince you that he can. No tax on tips. So first of all, he can't do that. Secondly, if he was going to do that, he would have to do it in one area and work with that county or that state and do it only there. Like, he can't just do that. So like it just, there's a lot of things that he'll say, and then like sometimes he'll say something that's like completely nonsensical. I forget exactly what he said recently, and that's exactly the point. He wants you to forget. So like he said this thing that it was just actually kind of incoherent babbling. It didn't even make any sense. It wasn't even a policy thing. It literally, he was trying to say it was, and it just was incoherent babbling. I was like, what? Did he really? What? I've never been a fan of politics. Like, I already know how the system actually works. I don't think anybody's a fan of politics. Like, people that are, like, into it, I don't think they're a fan of it. I think it's just, like, they care about things, so they want to, like, learn about it to you know, kind of affect how things happen. Or you get the Republicans who they're going into office so that they can get into corporate greed and start giving tax cuts to billionaires so that way they can put stocks into the billionaires' companies, and then when they get the tax break, the billionaire company hands them a fat check and a portion of that take, which is what a lot of the Republicans are doing now, right under your noses, and everybody's just like, dur, dur, dur. Oh, it's Democrats, dur, dur, dur. No, the Democrats are not doing that. I can't tell you a single Democrat that's doing anything even remotely like that. I would tell you. I would just tell you. You know me, I don't care. I don't care who it is, Democrat or not. I will just tell you. Can't think of a single one. Everyone thinks Nancy Pelosi's so terrible. No, it's actually the opposite. Nancy Pelosi is truthfully one of the most in my opinion, one of the most successful politicians because she got so much done when she had so many Republicans fighting her, and she got so much done, and I just nobody even realizes it. Everybody just hates her because of Trump, because Trump smeared her name. Nobody even knew who she was until Trump started talking about her. That's the problem. Republican voters don't actually research Democrats. They don't research Republicans either. Nah, they just watch Fox News. The government just gives you choices. Have you ever noticed they make money on whatever choice you make? Well, they need to get paid for their jobs. So, yes. I've noticed that, for sure. I mean, what are you getting at? That you don't want government? You're against government? I don't agree with that, because, again, there needs to be a system. You realize how much the government does for you? You don't. Most people don't. They really don't. It's the sort of thing where, traffic lights wouldn't work. It's the sort of thing that would just be complete chaos in a modern world. You could not... It would just replace itself overnight. People would just be like, well, we need a person for this, and we need a person for that. You just start governing immediately. Everybody would just... Otherwise, it would be chaos. Yeah, the smart people in the room would just start doing that and taking care of the people that were dumb enough to cause chaos. It's literally all that happened. And at the end of the day... There might not even be any smart people left because the war's over. Maybe there's a couple smart guys left, but... And that's what you don't want. That's what you don't want. You don't want a bunch of idiots standing around. Because now we've lost evolution. Yeah, not everybody's gonna be smart. This is what I want to change. Being kind of dumb isn't an insult. It shouldn't be. Why is that an insult? It shouldn't be. Yeah, I'm not seeing you do something dumb and then going, haha, idiot. No. I'm not physically seeing you trip over something and going, idiot. I'm not insulting your intelligence that way. I'm not using it as an insult. I'm using it as a tool to try to reason with you that you are, and make you realize that IQ is going down by a populace, not you in specific. No, it's like everybody. I've said it about me. I'm way dumber than I should be. The point is, everybody should be smarter. We are devolving. That is literally the point. And the point is, some of the smartest people on the planet actually go to law school. And they're politicians. That's the point. Some of the smartest people are lawyers. They go to law school because the bar exam is so difficult. And you don't even realize they're politicians. And then people are like, I like Trump because he's a businessman. They're all businessmen. Come on. It's just not even a reason. It's a do-nothing response. Yeah, they make money on it, but they have to in order to pay for it. That's how it works. So, yeah, like, I see what you're saying, but they have to. No. What needs to happen is exactly what Kamala wants to do. You don't cut taxes on the billion-dollar companies. They pay more. That's how tax systems work. That's how our tax systems always worked. Inflation goes up. This is why. Because it literally has to increase as it goes up, and then the value needs to go up. So you start increasing wages and stuff like that slowly. Part of the problem is, like, all these big companies are price gouging. And so, like, to match the raising of wages, all they're doing is just jacking up prices, like, just astronomical to cover the cost. So this is hurting your wallet. So you're paying like 250% more for a cart of groceries than you did even like 5-6 years ago, just because there's no legislation and there's not gonna be if Trump's in office. He doesn't want to do that. He likes billionaires. He gets a cut. No, she wants to slash the taxes in a way that makes sense for us, so that way that stops happening, so that the prices come down. And they've already started to do that under Biden. A little bit. This happened under Trump. Nobody pays attention. The stuff that happens when a president's in office slowly continues to happen after they're out of office. Because that's how it works. People, like, don't understand that. Like, some of the stuff that, like, the taxes and stuff, that's still from Trump. It's not Biden's tax plan. Not yet. Yeah. So, like, the point is you want Kamala in office for that reason. That's exactly what she's even saying she's gonna do. It's like one of her main points. Oh man, it's so important. Like, as soon as she starts saying that, it's like, yes, of course. Right, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you, Big Al. Like, that's where people get crazy. This is the same thing that people have been getting crazy about with the Democrats too. Anytime a Democrat says anything about regulating guns, they think the propaganda from the Republicans is to trick you into thinking that we're going to take them away. They don't want to take them away. Exactly what you said. They want to regulate to get more numbers on them, to essentially just make it like a little bit more of a process, so that way there's more paper, so that way it's more tracked, so that way if like a crime happens or something like that, it's more tracked. It's just easier to deal with, and so that way you can figure out who's done this and stuff like that better, and you can get hold of these things better. Crime rate starts going down and stuff like that. You need gun regulation the same way you need regulation for vehicles. There's VIN numbers on cars and stuff. Like we've always done this. It's just because it's guns, and so it's very easy for Republicans to fool their voters and they say, oh, he's gonna take your guns away if you vote for him. Don't vote for him. He's gonna take your guns away. They really have done this to you guys for decades. They convinced your parents this way, and now your parents have brainwashed you. I'm sorry, like, it's just the truth. They didn't know either. They were lied to as well. And when they were growing up, they didn't have all this information at their fingertips on the internet. We do. It's just that we're so brainwashed by them. Like, truthfully, you can't do that to yourself. You need to realize that this is all propaganda coming from the Republicans for decades and decades and decades and decades. They've been doing this to you for so long. They want to take your guns away, but regulate it. No. They want to regulate them. There's no ban. Yeah. One jerk-off Democrat said that one time. And everybody hated it. Even the Democrats. I got news for you. Democratic voters get them too and want them. Yeah, like it's no different. Yeah. Like it's absurd. Doesn't Biden have like rifles and stuff? Yeah, like just to think this too. Like people don't think. Guns are already made by the government. They're not made by the government. God. They're made by companies. Made by the government. Yeah, Smith and Wesson. Smith and Wesson. Well, granted, some guns, yeah. Oh yeah, like yeah, I guess military contracts through somebody. I'm sure, but they're still contracted. Makes guns. Yeah. Yeah. All guns ever. They don't have a brand on them or anything and literally called that. What? What are you even talking about, dude? Like, yes, I agree with you. Some guns are contracted through the government. But again, it's usually just a contract and a company's making them. What is the government? Yes, does it say government on the gun? U.S. made. Government made. No, it says made in the U.S. It says like Smith & Wesson, Remington. What? That's where I will firmly disagree with you. No. All guns are regularity by the NRA. So let me get this straight. First of all, regulated. Secondly, you think the National Rifle Association regulates all guns? Is that what you're telling me right now? This is what you think. Okay. Who owns the National Rifle Association, do you know? Do you know who owns it? Do you know who's in charge of it? Are you looking it up? In the spirit of full disclosure, you might want to look that up. Here, in the spirit of full disclosure, I will help you. Just in case I'm wrong. Yeah. So, I actually had trouble finding a current leader. It said chief executive somebody, I forget exactly. But I just, in the spirit of, like, it doesn't make, I'm just going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you one thing. The National Rifle Association does not, I repeat, not want gun regulation. They hate gun regulation. They are the, like, flat out reason why gun regulation hasn't happened more. Republicans have used the NRA as their little bullshit pinpoint to, tout completely irresponsible propaganda about gun safety and stuff like that. I just have to be honest with you. I have no fucking clue what you're talking about, and you need to research the NRA a little bit. They have a long history of not wanting gun regulation, and guns are not, like, they're regulated by the state. Individually. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm just being honest, dude. Like, I really, like, I'm not trying to be mean. I really have no idea what you're talking about. The National Rifle Association has nothing to do with regulating state-by-state gun control. Okay? Yeah, for sure, they are a problem. It is what it is. I mean, rich people buy them out, so, I mean, that's the truth. Yeah, it's all money. It's all money. Just ask Dick Cheney. What you're stating there isn't gun regulation. Make sure it works properly? What? When they fire, make sure when the firearm is made, it works properly. Look. Again. The National Rifle Association. You should spend some time researching what they are. Because it's not what they are. Okay? Just, like, that's absurd. Okay? Obviously, the National Rifle Association loves to tout about ARs and other rifles and how great they're made. This is what you're claiming. This has nothing to do with regulating guns. Again, they don't want numbers on those things. They don't want them tracked. What are you then? You've been a member for 2 years? Oh, okay. What are they then? You've been a member for 2 years? I want you to research it since you're a member. Because clearly you're a member of something that you really don't know too much about. And I'm just being honest. It's not what they get up to. They are for deregulating. Well, it's all propaganda. It's a pretty nonsense organization. Do I need to give you this for a freebie? Alright, hold on. Should I point you in the right direction? Hold on. Yes, I know. Not what I'm talking about. Again, you're dancing around this. You're stating things that I know even, and I've said. I just said that. Yeah. So here it is. Yeah, because they don't. I'm talking about the NRA. You're sitting here claiming the NRA goes around and slaps serial numbers on guns. That's completely absurd. The serial number is put on at the manufacturer. Like, you don't even know anything about guns, dude, and you're a freaking NRA member. The serial number is put on at the manufacturer. Okay, the NRA isn't randomly going around to manufacturers looking at serial numbers going, yep, looks good, yep, looks good, yep, looks good. Okay? And it's regulated by the Bureau of Tobacco, Alcohol, and Firearms. ATF. Okay. So, again, state government regulated. Not the NRA. The NRA is the National Rifle Association. Done with it, dude. Done with your, like, incoherent, like, just, wow, man. So, again, just for the person I just blocked, again, the ATF makes sure that the thing is regulated with the serial number. This is required by law, okay? But there's nobody, like, it's the sort of thing where if they see the number, that there's not a number on there, then, like, I don't know, it's recalled. Like, it happens at the factory. Okay? So there are state-by-state regulations and stuff like that. There's no, like, universal National Rifle Association nonsensical weird thing where they're like, yeah, we're gonna make sure these numbers are on. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great. Unbelievable. Like, you've no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, half the time crimes are committed, the point is the number's scratched off. You have no idea what you're talking about. Please stop. Just, wow, dude. Wow. Anyway, let me look at something here. We're gonna probably not be too much longer here. It's interesting. Okay. It's interesting. Guys, remember this is the same moron that, like, came in here and said I was looking up scared. Even though I'm just looking at my screen and it happens to be up. This is that guy. Just remember that. Yes, the National Rifle Association. Well, this is the problem. People are members of things that they don't even know what they're for. National Rifle Association regulates guns. Durka 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 dur. Imagine thinking that. Who's convincing of this propaganda? Oh my god. Like, it's so opposite. They don't care about that. They want less regulation. Yeah. This is why I say that, like, the Republicans and Democrats are reversed. People are using the liberal term wrong. It's Republicans that are liberal and Democrats that are conservative. Like, this is why people don't know what they vote for anymore and what their values are anymore. Because it's the liberal minds that want those liberties of having those guns and having the ability to not have them regulated and just have as many as they want, yada yada yada. Just get it easily. Have this big rifle club that you go to and yada yada. It's absurd. And it's like, imagine thinking that that's like a conservative viewpoint at all. Imagine thinking that. Imagine, like, that's just ridiculous to me. It's so absurd. Yeah, like, anymore, folks don't understand that, like, it's way different than it used to be. The roles are reversed. Yeah, the roles are reversed. It's true. Like, it's true. I just feel like I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like, you know, even though you guys, like, no, you obviously, like, JFK was a Democrat, right? Like, but like, I feel like, you know, pretty much everybody liked him, right? Like that's the point. And then, like, he just, I feel like you'd be so disappointed in, like, the, you know, like, just the way people are today. You know, like, it's everything he went through, everything, like, that a lot of these people went through that were good at what they did to help our country. I just feel like the point is, if they were alive today and they were seeing this guy that you're voting for, like, it's just not even close to who should be on that ballot. Not even close. The roles are so reversed from what they used to be. And yeah, like, I get it, you know. Different than, you know, the other Kennedys and stuff like that, but yeah, still everybody liked him. You know, why can't we have that kind of integrity anymore? Yeah, I feel like it happened with Obama. Like, we had that integrity. We just had a very terrible person, like an angry person that wanted to blame Obama for his own shortcomings, lie to you and convince you that, he's whatever Trump says that he is, not somebody, doing all the good things that he did do. I mean, like I keep telling you guys, when Trump got in office, like, the first thing he did was sign a bunch of executive orders abolishing a bunch of Obama stuff that was actually good, like, like economic stimulus stuff, like, flat out, just organizations that were to stimulate the economy, and Trump immediately abolished them because they said Obama. That's it. It's literally it. It had nothing to do with anything except that. And you guys can kind of even see that, right? Like, this is why I want you to get good at putting yourself in somebody's shoes. Trump does think like that. Think about what he says, the things he talks about, the way he says them, the way he talks to people, the way he thinks about people, the way he is. You know that's why he did that. You know it's that petty. The fact that he's a world leader and he tweets any random bullshit nonsensical thing that comes to his mind. He actually asks a doctor during COVID if he thinks it's okay for us to inject ourselves with bleach. I just, like, the guy doesn't really have a brain, and he says just anything, and then, like, when he's caught in it later, he just tries to take it back and lie to you. He's not there to help. He went bankrupt 6 times, and you all think he's a businessman. Not the kind you want. I have a legitimate question. A legitimate question, and I don't know that anybody's gonna have the answer. Why does JD Vance wear eyeliner? I mean, whatever. I just want a reason. I want to actually, like, ask him and see what his response is. That's all. I don't think that it's helpful to Trump's demographic that he picked somebody that wears eyeliner for the vice president. I'm just saying this is his demographic. Like I said, I really don't care if he wears eyeliner. I don't give a crap. I care more about what he says and does. He's definitely a moron. So he definitely fits in with Trump. He's even dumber than Trump, actually, which is kind of impressive. That's pretty like, I really do think the guy's dumber than Trump, even. Like, that's actually pretty impressive to do that. Because Trump's talking about the guy that didn't even know when election day was, and he was president-elect. Tim Walz, he's the guy that's the real Trump. He's the Trump with ethics. You guys want a real Trump? It's Tim Walz. Kamala's a genius. She's giving you what you want. You wanted Trump. Vote for her. Tim Walz is Trump. But he's better. He's ethical. He's the one saying, when your rights are in question about this whole ridiculous abortion thing, he's the one saying, mind your own damn business. Sounds like something Trump would say to me. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, mind your own damn business. I think a lot of people like it. Makes sense. Government shouldn't have a say in what your doctors do to your body. What the heck's wrong with you? That you think that they do? No. Mind your own damn business. Tim Walz is also a stand-up guy. Wasn't he in the army? I knew he was a soldier. I be honest with you, I don't remember which branch. I think he was in the army though. Come on, what's not to like? Come on. He's a veteran too? Give me a break, guys. Ridiculous. No reason to vote for Trump. Dude's ridiculous. He's a wreck. Dude's just such a wreck. Like, come on, you're gonna compare when a veteran is running for vice president and not even president, and like that's the point. And then Kamala Harris, experience as an attorney general, she has experience in government, knows how to do things. Half the ads use actually I'd say about 70 to 80% of Trump's ads, complete nonsense, lies, literally just lying. I saw an entire ad where he just completely made a bunch of shit up about Kamala. Like the entire ad was completely made up. I'm not, swear, hand to God, entire ad, completely made up. I was like, are you kidding? Like, just the whole thing. Just complete nonsense. Like, I remember I was like looking it up, too. I was like, did she really do that? So, I was like, looking it up. Nah, this is just him spinning the Republican propaganda. There's some reports that she did this and that. It's fake news. It's literally fake news. He creates fake news. The guy that created fake news creates more fake news. Imagine that. This is how stupid people are. And then they expect me to care about calling them stupid. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm not trying to insult you. You have to realize that's how simplistic it seems to me. Just please fix it. Come on. I mean, it's like so basic. It'd be like finding out you're calling a red crayon blue. You find out you got the color backwards. You're just calling it by the wrong name. That's kind of what that's like. Like, that's how nonsensical that sounds to me. Like, it's just like how completely devoid. Yeah, like just someone's calling the wrong color the wrong name. You know, like they see a red. Not that they're colorblind. They're just like literally saying the wrong name. You know, just like, oh, it's a red pen, but they're just calling it blue. You know it's red, right? Yeah, it's the same color as an apple. Yeah, so that's red, not blue. Really? Yeah, that's red. Oh. I thought that... Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, like, that's how nonsensical this sounds to me. Like, just people just, like, literally have it crossed in their brain. It's brainwashing. It's true. That really is what they're doing. They are brainwashing. It's like exactly what Kim Jong-un does to North Korea. Exactly. It's just like, we have freedom of the press, so, you know, take that away, which, yeah, it's probably, I mean, you elect him, it might. That's bad, man. Either way, I agree with those opinions or don't. I think you should all agree with the opinion that Tim Walz really is your Trump, and he's a veteran. What else is there not to like? Veteran. I know I say it like that. People around here say it like that. That's why. I've heard veterans say it like that actually. So. Yeah. It's the sort of thing where that's how you need to look at that, in my opinion, because those are the things that matter. You know, like this guy had experience in the military. He had experience out of the military too. You know, like that's the point. Like he's been out of the military how long? You know, like so he can look at the world in a different mindset instead of just a soldier. The idea that Eisenhower became president and we didn't want necessarily soldiers as presidents and stuff like that because they want to go to war, yada yada yada. Well, that was fresh out of his service, right? So the point is, you know, have that separation a bit, I guess. But like in modern day, it's the sort of thing like I said, it's just different. It really is. They're that's what we were worried about with Eisenhower because just things were different at the time. We've been through this now, we understand it. You know, we can look at it like, you know, you don't want to run the country like necessarily a soldier. You know, you don't want to necessarily be going to war and stuff like that unless you need to. Period. We know this. I think most people are on that page. You know, most people don't. It's other countries that want to spread communism and stuff like that that are trying to push the propaganda that we want to go have a civil war or anything. Nobody wants to fight. No. Truthfully, the propaganda has brainwashed people, and they just get mad because they believe the propaganda, but that's all it is. Stop believing it and you won't be mad anymore. You'll just start agreeing with the Democrats and realize that you kind of been dumb all along. Like, and again, don't treat it like an insult. You're not dumb with other stuff. It's just politics, that's all. Just immediately you'll be smarter. You'll just be like, oh, I get it now. Cool. And then, like, I get this. It ostracizes some friends and stuff like that, but I gotta be honest, if your friends kind of ostracize you and sort of, like, view you differently just because of your political stance and stuff like that, you know, they're not really your friends anyway. That's all. And then, like that's sort of kind of how they act and stuff like that. Yeah, it's the sort of thing where they're not your friends anyway. They're just treating you different. I know with some people, you know, you have to do that because like they're conspiracy theorists and stuff like that. They think that like, you know, like maybe like they think like all government's bad or something like that. You know, like there's just like ridiculous stuff and you know, like that. I understand that. I understand when like you need to cut somebody off because all right, they're getting a little crazy, but like we shouldn't ostracize our friends just because they want to vote for Trump or something like that, or the other way around. Just because of the, you know, like their opinion on those values and stuff like that. And remember, I do think that, you know, if there comes a time where they're starting to get a little crazy and they're like, I don't know, maybe they're incessantly sending you propaganda links or incessantly like trying to convince you like all right, that's a bit harassing. Like it's just nonstop, it never stops, yada yada. You can't get them to focus on other things. That I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. Obviously talk to them, but then like if they can't be reasonable, like that's the point. Your friends should be able to be reasonable. Just talk to them. Just have a reasonable conversation. Look, man, I gotta be honest. I agree with the fact that you can have your own opinion about stuff in politics, but I gotta be honest, I think it's affecting our friendship because, like, I feel like you're viewing me a certain way just because I don't agree with you, and I don't like that, and I would really appreciate it if you were my friend, that you would just respect that we're gonna disagree sometimes on this stuff, and that's okay. And if they can't accept that and move on, they're really probably not your friend. Because, like, they wouldn't probably just keep pressing whatever conspiracy theory or anti-government nonsense. Because, again, they're just hateful toward things. That's what you want to look out for. Essentially just somebody trying to, you know, spread hate towards some sort of thing that they hate. Like this guy that came in earlier, very, very kind of obviously hating on government. Yeah, like, it was just sort of kind of obvious with what he was saying. Yeah, just realize it's you don't have to hate stuff. There's really no reason. You don't have to hate stuff. Yeah, you don't have to hate stuff. Simply not look at it. There's a big thing with people not understanding how to look at politics, what to watch, what should they trust, who should they watch, what YouTube channel, what media outlet, yada yada yada. I can give you a YouTube channel. Don't troll him, because I promise you, this is a very professional channel. He's been doing it a long time. He had a huge network of people that he works with. I don't know if he still does. He's a family man. The guy is a real stand-up individual. When he talks politics and he talks situations and stuff like that, drama, he presents you with what he thinks often, but he'll also say that, like, he understands that you might view it different, and he appreciates your comment, and he would love for you to comment and give your opinion, because he'd love to hear it. And he actually does like to hear that, and he sometimes talks about it and stuff like that. Go watch him, seriously. Unfiltered opinions, completely unbiased. So look at both sides of the equation, give it to you, research it. You can trust what he's saying, and if he says something that's not true, he'll take it back. Will update. He is so good. Philip DeFranco. The Philip DeFranco Show. It's on YouTube. Please watch him. Please watch him. Please, 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 please. Philip DeFranco. Again, he can really unbiased, just present it to you, but then also still brilliantly give you his opinion without clouding his ability to look at a situation unbiased. And this is really important to remember, and that's a really good skill to have. And watching people like this, you'll start to develop it too. But you have to be open to him. You can't resist what he's trying to tell you and trying to teach you. Otherwise, you won't learn anything. You'll just think it's all fake news, like you always do. Like you're just touting the same propaganda Trump is. If you do that, it's just propaganda. He's just lying. Not everything is a lie. Not everything is fake news, except unless you're Trump. That's the point, guys. Yeah, it's absurd. And I've got news for you. If he has a plan for something, it won't come in a package that is the best you've ever seen. It's going to cover everybody. It's going to be the best and biggest you've ever seen. It's not going to be that. It's going to be, this is what we're going to do, and this is exactly how we're going to do it. It's not going to just be a general thing like that. That's the most absurd general thing I've ever heard. Wow, what a great, pretty picture he's painted for me on exactly what he's going to do. It's going to be a great plan. It's going to cover everybody, and it's going to be free. Well, I got news for you. That never happened under him, so... A friend of mine told me a story. And I'm going to repeat it, because I think it needs to be heard. He's a good friend of mine. He told me about a story he heard from somebody he met. So I'm going to repeat it. I hope he doesn't mind. I don't think he's going to care. He said he talked to somebody that I guess, knew Trump's company or worked with Trump's company or something like that. Something like that. I forget. I forget exactly how it was. But essentially, I guess this company ordered. Like, he really talked to somebody that like worked with this. So like this is like, he knows this. Apparently, Trump's company ordered a bunch of pianos. And for like some tower he built or something, like something. I think he said it was Taj Mahal or something. Anyway, he ordered a bunch of pianos. And when the company sent in the pianos, Trump's company then tried to not pay for the bill. Yeah, they literally said they weren't going to pay it, and then they only offered them a third of what it was worth, of what they were supposed to, and then Trump's company said to them, if they don't like it, they can sue us. That's the kind of con artist this guy is. And you think he cares about your job, whether you make money, when he just robbed somebody? He robbed somebody. That's what just happened. He robbed some pianos. He stole pianos. Donald Trump stole a shitload of pianos because he's rich. Yeah, so again, the company delivered some pianos. He was supposed to pay for it, and he said, we're not paying for this. I'm sure there was some sort of argument. He tried to say this and that and the other thing. Oh, I remember that now. They're trying to say it was this. Oh, well, I got news for you. When they delivered those pianos, they caused all these problems, and I had to do this, and we had to get this guy and hire this guy. So if they're going to pay for my bill for this and this and this, oh, well, then I'll pay for the pianos. So how do you like that? Sound like something Trump would say? Yeah, exactly. The point is, I just made it up on the spot. That's why it sounds like something he'd say, because he makes shit up on the spot. It's not what actually happened. He makes it up. It's complete nonsense. What actually happened is Donald Trump stole a bunch of pianos. Just like he does with everything else. He stole money. Yeah, he stole money from U.S. taxpayers. He's done that. Like... So, first-hand story, guys, like, this is the type of con artist you're dealing with. And it just comes down to putting yourself and being able to sort of, like I said, relate and start to think like somebody. You start to realize, oh my gosh, I would never act like this. I would never respond this way. Why is he like this? And you start to realize, like, yeah, okay, all right, he's pretty terrible. you just start kind of figuring it out. Like, he just does things you would never do. It's just terrible. You would never order a shitload of pianos and not pay for them, right? Like, why would you steal a bunch of pianos from a company? It's just terrible. So, just saying. And like, this isn't the only time he would do something like that. Do you remember when Don Jr. ran a donation where people were supposed to donate art and stuff like that? So they during he had so many scandals, but one of the bigger ones was essentially he had this this donation fundraiser where this was all supposed to go to charity, but actually none of it did. We thought it was even just some. None. He profited on all of it. They had this donation thing where people were donating like art that they made and stuff, and One was I think a painted picture of Donald Trump, right? Um, and yeah, like they sold everything, they made all this money, and then we found out later that the money got put into an account that Donald Trump Jr. had. Yep, Don Jr. Slicked back black hair, Don Jr. Yep, they actually did that. Real. This is the guy you want to elect. Come on, man. How many scandals do we need to tell you about before it's time to change your mind? I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to... I really am not lying to you. I'm really not just making stuff up. I just found this shit out. Yeah, like, I was just paying attention as, like, he was president, and just... That's it. That's it. Because, like, all the time I was always trying to convince people that he's terrible, you know, and wholly aside from the fact that, you know, all the accounts of obstruction of justice during the impeachment trial, like somebody that actually should have been impeached. Most of the time they try to impeach presidents, I'll admit, even like with Bush, I feel like a lot of the time there's really no reason for it. They're just trying to do it because it makes them look good, because they're, you know, like their voters hate this person. So they just try to push for it because the voters like it. But honestly, truthfully, well, really, even with Republicans, I really don't agree with impeachment a lot of times. They really just make shit up. With Trump, no. He didn't do anything. He did nothing in office. He did a whole shitload of getting rid of stuff the first day. And then, again, he had mountains of papers on his desk. This is why Pence won't endorse him. This is why a lot of people won't endorse him. His administration would constantly beg him just to sign papers. There was times where people were like asking, should we just forge the signature? Like truthfully, they almost did, like, so many times, because it's like, they're just mountains of papers, and Trump's like at some golf resort somewhere. Like, it was so bad, man. Like, you can say whatever you want about a president vacationing. I really don't care, actually, as long as they got their work done. Just being honest, and you all want to elect a businessman for being a businessman. Guys, politicians are all businessmen. A lot of them go to law school, maybe have business management degrees, maybe ran businesses, have organizations. They're all businessmen. It's not an excuse. It's not. It's a simplistic reason people... well, I'm sorry, it's not a reason. It's an excuse. I'm sorry. It's a simplistic excuse people give instead of a reason. I apologize. I said that wrong. Yeah. It's true. I think I'm good, guys. I think I'm good. We talked a good bit. I didn't want to get too into anything. I just wanted to talk to you guys. I you know, just wanted to give you some content. Again, when I say, like, dumb, stupid, you know, things like that to people, it's not, I don't look at it as an insult. Again, it's not something physical. I'm not picking on you. Again, like, it's just like the facts of whatever you gave me just now sounds that way, so I have to present it in that manner, because if I'm nice about it, people kind of don't respond that way. They almost think you're the one that's wrong and try to convince you. When I'm already, like, I'm literally already right, and I've already researched it a bunch of times and I already know, and I've already been through this with many people, you know, like, that's the point. And then had them look it up, and I was right, and stuff like that. That's all. You know, that's literally all that is. It's the sort of thing where we're just, you know, it's I am not insulting. I am just trying to reverse the thought that you would essentially think that I would need to figure out the truth or something like that about this politician or something like that. No, I spend a very good amount of time figuring that out and make sure it's right. And not only that, but like it's really not even that hard. It's really not. All it is basic research, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's just the ethics of it. It's people, like I said, the flip-flop reverse thing, where they are just lying to themselves. They don't want to admit that they flat out know you can trust a news report, you can trust CNN, you can even trust Fox News when they're just reporting things. But you can't trust, you know, this random guy that's starting to spout nonsense about I don't know, like just random things that don't like reasonable stuff, you know, like reporting on this happened this day, yada yada yada. That's a news report. You know, somebody that's sitting there saying, oh, I don't know, you know, I don't know, whatever bullshit thing they're saying about Kamala that like sounds ridiculous. Oh, she's gonna I don't know, like remember when they said Biden was gonna get rid of all of police and stuff like that? They said Biden was gonna like just get rid of them. There was, you know, Trump actually said that. Nope. Yeah, he did the opposite. Yeah. He did the opposite. Remember how I always said it's the opposite with Trump. When he's trying to push propaganda, remember, anything he's saying, it's the opposite. He's just lying. So, anything he says, opposite. It's literally as simple as that. That's why we always know. Because it's the exact opposite every time. Because he's just lying. It's as simple as knowing when a parent or something like has a kid that's lying to them or something like that about something, and you just know they're not giving you that right answer. They're just like obvious about it, and it's just like, yeah, okay. You know, it's that simple, and that's the point. It's that basic, where the guy doesn't care. He just lies about everything. He doesn't even try. Really, really, really crazy stuff. And so anyway, like, just like I said earlier, I don't hate him. You shouldn't. Why would you? No, that's the wrong response. You give him that response, you know, essentially you become, you know, like him. You don't want to hate him. And this is the point. You should condemn assassinations and stuff like that. That should never happen. That's terrible. But I don't want the guy as president. He's like literally the last person on earth I want in that position. So that's it. Just remember, Philip DeFranco show. Watch Philly D, Philip DeFranco. He's on YouTube. I can make sure his channel is still called that. I'm subscribed to him. I can make sure his channel is still actually called that. Yep, Philip DeFranco. It's literally just called Philip DeFranco. So go watch it. Great channel. Great guy. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for supporting, for watching. You know, if you anytime you're talking politics, just remember, if it starts getting heated and people can't do it without getting personal and insulting and stuff like that, then, you know, you shouldn't talk. But just realize, like, there's a point to it. If you're continuing to tout the same incorrect fact and you haven't looked it up yet, and I'm saying you're wrong, all you're doing is lying to yourself and to me because you haven't proven anything. You're just saying things. This is everything. This is what everybody does. Remember that. That's why I can say stupid and it's not an insult. Does that make sense? Because, yeah, like, I get it. You don't want to be like, oh, you're stupid, you know, and stuff like that. That is an insult. But, again, if you're continuing to press the same subject over and over, and it's just wrong, so it's not even a fact, it's opposite of that, and you haven't looked it up yet, you're just saying it, it's misinformation, it's wrong, I deserve that. I deserve to call you stupid because, again, you didn't look it up. You are remaining less intelligent. You are devoid of logic. You aren't learning. You're doing the opposite. It is not an insult. It is literally fact. I'm not being mean at all. It's just literal. I promise. And so don't take that like that. I just want you to realize that is the logical way. Logical thinkers will look at that. That is why they get that way. That's it. Please, please confirm your facts with real information. And realize that fact checkers, you can trust them. These are organizations that exist, and they actually exist to research things. This is what they do. Yeah, like, this is what they do. Realize that Trump created a few fact checkers. I think they've removed them now, but that could happen again. And then in that case, it's not a fact checker. You know what I'm saying? The point is, it's not owned by like a politician or something like that. It's literally just something, an organization that researches these things to give you information. That's why things are getting removed and stuff like that. You have the right to have information, facts. That is actually a right. Did you know that? So you can listen to those fact checkers. Okay? You really can. Snopes is a good one. Snopes. That's probably one of the best ones. That one I would trust pretty much with anything. So there you go. Like flat out, if Snopes says it, just pretty much you can just believe it. Like that's the point. That's what they do. You know, they're not media. They're not reporting. They're just fact checking. That's what they do. Yeah, it'd be like saying a dictionary is misspelled a word. That's kind of what that would be like. It would be like saying a dictionary misspelled a word. Yeah, alright, maybe there's a misprint once in a while. That wasn't Webster that misspelled the word, it was a misprint. Okay? You get what I'm saying? I think you do. I think you guys do. Thank you so much. Thank you. Remember what reference material is versus propaganda. It's probably a better way to say that. Well, I want you guys to take care. I know it's like probably the end of the weekend for some of you, right? So, I hope you guys take care of yourselves. And, I hope you're all doing well. Hope everything is going well for you. Take care, everybody.